Oh, hello. I'm Sketch.
And I'm Shades.
And this is Midstream. Welcome back, longtime listeners. Welcome back, Shades.
Welcome back, Sketch.
How you doing, you old rind grinder?
It's been a rough couple of weeks, but I'm glad to be potting with you again. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. And it's been a while since we've done a Midstream.
I know. Way back in season 2.
Season 2. This is technically our first Midstream of
season 3.
Season 3. So, guys, thanks for coming back with us. Thanks for potting with us. Thanks for geeking out with us as we delve into this new venture of season 3.
Yeah, it's been monumental so far.
So far, it's been big, and boy, are there big things ahead.
Oh my goodness!
But let's see, if you have been, following along with us at home, then we've got a couple different things to discuss here this midstream. So let's start with our season opener, Space
Jam.
Shades, do you have anything any big takeaways from our Space Jam episode? Any big corrections that you would like to make?
Big takeaways. We do not do the sports.
No, we do not do the sports. But nor have we ever claimed to do the sports.
Longtime listener, Alan Bass said that, quote, listening to us try to talk about sports was the, quote, funniest thing ever, unquote.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I'm glad we could do that for you.
Yeah, I mean, I would not choose Geeking Out as your go-to sports ball podcast, but if you're in for a good time and you just don't care that much about games, then
I like that we could not get more specific than sports.
Sports.
Yeah,
I know sports. People play them. People get really serious about them. Yeah. One of the big things as I was listening back, and we discussed it a little bit later. Off mic was that we never touched upon that. Why space?
Yeah, I don't have an answer to that, Sketch.
Why space? It doesn't take place in space.
It takes place in a space.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about just the state of physical matter.
Sure.
Jam.
Yeah, that
Very
works.
good. You know what? Today at the old Egyptology department, I actually saw my very first Space Jam New Legacy backpack.
Really?
And then it made me pause and go, oh yeah, I have not seen any merchandise from this thing the way I remember seeing merchandising from 96.
I don't get out much these days. But I also have not seen any kind of product tie-in.
Yeah.
Like nothing for like a Happy Meal or a Burger King Kids Club equivalent. Like promotional tie. I think like Denny's even used to get in on those back in the day. I think Flintstones were at Denny's, right?
Maybe. Never really had. Oh no, I guess I did have a Denny's near me.
I was big into those, like collect all of the McDonald's, Burger King products tie-ins. Yeah, I was big into that.
Oh yeah,
I let it all go when my parents sold their house.
I had a big dresser at my parents' house of like all my like just the drawers were full of my Happy Meal toys. But yeah. Oh, and you know what? I even remember old Looney Tunes toys.
Oh
they were the
they turned into superheroes.
Yeah.
They were DC tie-ins. Bugs was Superman, Daffy was Batman, and Taz was the Flash.
And there was a female pig that was Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
But I don't know who that female pig is now.
Petunia Pig.
Petunia Pig, of course. How could I?
She's not as popular and present these days.
Yeah. She doesn't grab the kids like the Casablancas and the Austin Powers.
No.
Kids love those references.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Okay. So Space Jam. So, I think
I don't think I have any corrections, Sketch, other than I no corrections, just and takeaways. I really enjoyed revisiting Space Jam, and I was glad to find that I appreciated it now as an adult as I did as a less adult.
Yeah. I mean, you could really say it the other way. You enjoyed that as less of a kid now as you did.
Hey, that's
when
what I
you
was
were
going
a kid.
for.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it as less of a kid now than I was as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think my big thing leaving Space Jam behind now, as it were, is just we know sports. Like we've got a firm handle on the basketball.
We knocked it out of the park, Sketch.
We absolutely did.
I will borrow on a sports term there.
We were the Michael Jordans of baseball.
Yeah.
When it came to sports.
That is accurate, Sketch.
I hope there aren't many other sports themed geeking out topics.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
My big takeaway is that I would really like to do Back in Action. I did a little bit of research on it, and it seems like it was more about the Looney Tunes than about the human characters. And Brendan Fraser. I would love
always
to do
a win. Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. So I would like to do that. Maybe on a future. We're working on getting our Patreon back up and running. Maybe a future Patreon exclusive Looney Tunes.
Yeah, that'd
make
a
action.
Good Patreon. Yeah, excellent.
Sketch, any take backsies, any corrections for Space Jam?
No, we're good.
Yeah, cool.
Let's put a pin in that.
Done.
Is that what you did? No, that's what you do when you go back to it. Let's seal that up. Return to sender. Take it to the hoop.
Oh boy. Let's move on. Let's put it into the light speed to the last Starfighter.
The titular last Starfighter.
Not to be, as we talked about in the episode, there is a sequel in the works being planned. The Last Starfighters, plural. We'll see what happens.
Any news on that? Did you see it? Has there been any changes since
I have not seen anything. Since that sizzle reel that I tried to find, and I couldn't find the sizzle reel either. For Last Starfighters. You and I watched the sizzle reel while we were recording the episode, and then when I went to,
I remember that.
Then when I went to put it into when I went to put it into the episode show notes, I couldn't find it anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The plot thickens. Well, listen, did I come down hard on Last Starfighter? Yeah.
A little bit.
I did. Did I defend it? Not the movie. My standing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did. I hit it a little late. What?
That's okay.
What can I do? I hit it a little late. And I 100% stand by my just loving Robo Alex. And
the beta.
Yeah, that whole subplot of the movie was wonderful to me. And if this were made to, like, if the Last Starfighter 1 was made today or like remade today, I bet a twist at the end would be that Beta was lying, and no, of course Beta fights. That's what Betas do.
Right, yeah.
And like the reveal at the end of the movie is like,
that's what they're for.
Beta, and Beta's like at home with the girlfriend and the brothers Playboys. He's just living it up, and Alex is fighting the war, and now Alex has to go get his life back.
Wait, so the setup for the sequel is that Alex has to go back to Earth and fight the beta for his life.
Yep.
Like not his corporeal life.
His identity.
His identity.
Yeah,
So it's an identity theft.
It's an identity. Yeah, it is. And then at 3, you get back.
I'm here for it.
You get back to the guy with the rind grinder, and you take out him, and then it's a nice trilogy. You button it up, and I'm all for it.
Listen, Sketch. Stop grinding my rands.
Stop grinding my rands. I think the sequel trilogy would be The Last Starfighter. The second movie is we found one more. And then the third movie is that's it, we're done. And then we're good. Like, so yeah. No, but how about you? Do you feel like you did a good job with, because it really meant more to you, Last Starfighter? I think you captured the magic of growing up.
I don't feel like I scored it very well. But I stand by
range.
It was impossible for me to score. It was so formative. It's like trying to score I imagine it's like you trying to score A New Hope.
Oh yeah.
That's just it's impossible to like be objective about it.
Oh yeah.
Right, but I did my best to be objective.
You did great.
Thanks.
It was a moving target for you.
It really was. But I fired up Death Blossom and we got there I got there in the end. And we eventually destroyed them all.
I think we did
that movie
Starfighter
justice.
Yeah, I absolutely do. We made the Star Court proud.
Star League.
No, the trailer wasn't the trailer park Star Court.
The Starbright trailer court. We never got to the bottom. We never got to the bottom of the difference between a trailer court and a trailer park.
No,
we did not get to the bottom of that. Long-time listeners, we're floundering here.
Let us know, because it's like a government secret at this point. We just can't find it.
I did after we recorded that episode, I did drive cross country to Los Angeles.
Yes, you did. And
pass through Canyon Country. And the facade of the Starbright Motor Court is now like an old-timey general store.
Nice.
I regret to inform that it was closed as I passed by.
That's a bummer.
And like parking lot blocked.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So
that is a bummer.
It was an ill-conceived detour on our road.
But you
trip.
know.
Yeah.
You were there in space.
I passed by. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, it's nice to hear that there's still a building there.
Mostly
a building.
Mostly a building.
Nice. How about our reposts? Anything from our reposts that
Mario Bros is just a bonkers movie.
Yeah. That was another fun episode.
It was another fun episode and timely considering a recent announcement.
The big news.
Take it away, Sketch.
We have for starters, I did not know there was a Mario movie in the works.
I remember us talking about it, that they had been discussing, but I didn't know it was going to be an animated movie.
Yeah, like an animated.
I knew they were talking about like relaunching a movie franchise of Mario. But yeah. I did not know it was this far along, and I did not know it was going to be animated.
And now they've attached a cast to the project.
Yes.
Mario, played by stereotypical American Italian actor Christopher Pratt. I mean, hey, I like when Chris Pratt voice acts in things. I don't know how it's going to play out with Mario, like a short little overweight little Mario guy who's plumbing all over the place. Also, Chris Pratt, to me, he sounds young, and yes. Mario seems more middle-aged.
Right.
But, it is what it is.
Yeah. When I saw that casting announcement, I just kind of went, meh. I didn't get excited about it.
I did get excited. I got a little puzzled, and I got a little bit like, oh, are we just like attaching a name to this thing? That's what we're drumming up excitement for. And I remember I saw who Luigi was, and I'm blanking on it right now.
Luigi.
I thought it was someone who I was like, wow, that's a pairing. Is it Charlie Day?
It might be.
The suspense.
Charlie Day as Luigi.
Yeah. So
the cast Anna Taylor as Anna Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, Jack Black as Bowser, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek. Who the hell's Kamek? Oh, is he the guy in the cloud that like throws stuff out of the cloud at you?
That makes sense.
Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike, and that's the cast. I mean, it's a bizarre. It's a bizarre cast sketch.
It sounds like we're going for fun, and I'm happy to have fun, and I will wait to pass judgment till I see the movie. I mean, the thing is the cast doesn't match the movie I have in my head, but I've been burned by expectations way too much. So I'm pumping the brakes on my own expectations.
You know what it is? Charlie Day and Chris Pratt and Charlie Day have both leaned so heavily into like action movies as of late. Charlie Day has been doing
he's in the Pacific
Rim stuff. Chris Pratt is like everything. It's difficult to then see them lean back into their roots as like the comic stuff.
Yeah.
It's the Tom Hanks trajectory of your career, right? You start out doing stuff like Bachelor Party, and then you're on the beaches of Normandy in World War II, and like you can't do a Bachelor Party movie after that.
Yeah, there's some ships that sail.
Right. So this just feels, I don't know. And I didn't find Chris Pratt particularly compelling in Onward.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in Onward. Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah. You know, I just don't hear that voice and say, "Oh, Luigi," or Mario rather.
I liked him as Emmett in the Lego Movie. But yeah, I also don't hear him and think, "Oh, Mario." But time will tell.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Maybe they're taking Mario in a bold new direction.
That always works.
I just want them to plumb.
Hey, you know who's not happy? John Leguizamo.
Is he like legitimately not, or is that like
he is legitimately upset and not accused, but got on Twitter and just said like the lack of diversity in this movie is upsetting and troubling, particularly when you look at the original 30 years ago now.
Wow.
Casting a Latino man in the co-lead of the movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, I look at that movie and I don't find it particularly diverse, but I don't know.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the movie I would use as my example of diverse
casting. But it's certainly bizarre casting. I'll say that. But quote John Leguizamo, "I am the only person that knows how to make this movie work."
Interesting. That is a bold brag.
It is, considering the live action Mario movie.
Yeah, I mean, he did such success.
I thought he was superb in it.
I did like him, but I wouldn't say the movie worked because he was in it.
Oh, I agree.
So we'll see, John. If you want to watch it with us, we'll have you on the show.
We'll rewatch it. Oh, the new one.
I mean, the new one.
Oh yeah, open invitation, John. Mr. Leguizamo, please get in touch. Have your people call our people. We don't have people, but yeah, we'd love to have
someone will answer the phone.
Someone, yeah. So yeah, Mario Brothers. What just a bizarre movie. So
do you have some news for this week?
Yeah, I shared with you, Sketch. We've been talking about it for what feels like years now. Netflix dropped the trailer for the live action Cowboy Bebop series, and it looks fucking awesome. I'm so excited.
So good.
I can't wait. And you hear the iconic music from the seatbelts. The title sequence is perfect. I love what they did with Faye. I love what I'm seeing from the costuming, the character portrayal, all of the characters. John Cho as Spike.
Oh my gosh! I mean,
talk about nailing it. Do you remember the campaign from a few years ago? It was John Cho, starring John Cho. It was like a Twitter that they like photoshopped John Cho into the lead role.
Oh no!
Of all of these other movies. It's
Typing makes great audio.
Sorry, it does. I know. Is it? And it's dropping this November. It's going to be out.
November,
like
yeah, we're just a month and a half away.
November
really.
19th, it's going to drop. The main cast of characters: John Cho as Spike, Mustafa Shakir as Jet Black, and Daniela Pineda as Faye Valentine, Elena Satine as Julia, and Alex Hassel as Vicious. And what you had said to me was
Where's
that
Ed?
Where's Ed?
Where's Ed?
Where is Ed? That's a great question. And there is a Welsh corgi named Henry Henry is playing Ein. And,
yeah, as soon as I saw the corgi, especially, I was like, okay, now where's Ed? Now,
right.
Now where's Ed?
Radical Ed will be played by Wong Hao Papilu, I believe is the actor's name.
All right, so we will have an Ed, but maybe he isn't going to be so dominant in the series that needs to be in the opening.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see. May have butchered that name, and I apologize, but we'll see how that plays out in the live action series. But it looks so good. It looks
the trailer pumped me up.
I really did. And it had been delayed for over a year. John Cho broke his collarbone, I believe, while doing a stunt. Yeah, and was like, I understand if you need to go in a different direction. And the showrunners were like, no, we are committed to you, and put the show on hiatus while he healed.
That's cool.
So I'm excited to see this. He did a lot of his own stunts. The whole cast did a lot of their own stunts. And, just seeing the outline of the swordfish, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, honestly, this whole time that we've been talking about it, not just this episode, I mean,
we've been talking about it for since season 1. We've been talking about this.
I've always been hesitant just because the track record of live action adaptations of anime
hasn't been great. Yeah,
it has not been great. And
we did the Full Metal Alchemist.
We did the Full Metal Alchemist live action
fun,
movie,
but it was it was missing something.
It's hard to translate sometimes anime into real flesh and blood actors.
I thought was a little better. I don't know if you saw the Death Note live action. I did not see
Death Note.
It's pretty good
because I also haven't seen the anime either of Death Note.
Death Note. I was not the audience for Death Note. I wasn't really into it. I watched the live action just to see what they would do with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting.
Right.
I thought it was a little bit better than the Full Metal Alchemist.
All right.
But
the Attack on Titan live action was womp womp to me.
Oh, I did not see. Was that Netflix?
I think I watched it on a plane, if I remember right.
Oh boy, I didn't even know there was a live action.
Yeah, I didn't think.
How would you do that?
Great.
Yeah, how would you even do that practically without such a ridiculous budget?
Yeah. So I mean, all said and done, it was making me hesitant to get excited.
Yeah.
And then I saw that opening.
I'm in. I'm all in. I can't wait.
Oh fuck! I'm really excited now for this.
Yeah.
Like, you better deliver, because now I am pumped.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I'm all in. Can't wait. Should we talk our other repost? Anything from our other reposts that you wanted
from the Mummy?
The Mummy.
I mean, I just gosh darn love those movies.
Yeah.
The first two movies, and gosh darn love Brendan Fraser, and really everyone involved.
It is, yeah. I mean, what a cast! What great movies! I think it perfectly recaptured the feeling of those early monster movies, and like the campiness of a B movie with all of the effects of a big budget blockbuster that you would expect, and they hold up so well.
They do.
And we are smack dab in the middle of the Renaissance.
Yeah, is that what people are calling it? That's great.
The Renaissance, and I am here for it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
just the number of projects that star Brendan Fraser that are out right now. My goodness.
He's a hardworking man.
He is. And Doom Patrol Season 3 is out right now on HBO Max. I'm enjoying that, in which he plays Cliff Steele, aka Robot Man. We don't get a lot of We don't get a lot of him on screen because there's another actor in the Robot Man suit, but we get his voice. And then there's a show going to the CW that got picked up, and he's going to be opposite Tom Welling.
Who is Tom Welling?
Tom Welling played Clark Kent in Smallville.
Oh, okay.
It's called The Professionals, and Brendan Fraser is going to be playing like an Elon Musk type character whose company is on the verge of something amazing, and ne'er-do-wells are trying to take it over. So he hires Tom Welling, who is the character's wife's ex-lover, and Tom Welling's like a macho ultimate like SEAL team, drop him into a country with a knife between his teeth and he'll win the day character. And Tom Welling's character has to protect Brendan Fraser's character, and it's like a buddy road trip, kind of like protect the millionaire who's out in the field with you type thing.
Wow.
It's like Castle with two guys. And
it's going to be a series, you said?
It's going to be a series, yeah, on CW.
Okay. All right.
I'm very excited for it.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. And he's got a bunch of other projects coming out too. But yeah, awesome. I just fucking love those Mummy movies. They're so much fun. Even Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, which is just bizarre.
Its moments.
Yeah.
Has its moments. The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, you're reminded a lot that perhaps you're not the target audience for this movie.
Well, you know what it was? It came too close to The Mummy Returns, and Brendan Fraser was not old enough to be playing that part.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he was not old enough to be playing someone who had a son that old. Like,
right. It was just bizarre.
Because we saw him having, I forget the kid's name, but him having Alex, right? I thought it was Alex.
Yeah.
Him having Alex in Mummy 2.
Right.
Totally believable.
Right.
Him having Alex be that much older in Mummy 3 with him looking the way he was looking. It was
just
I
bonkers.
felt like at most I was watching a older brother, little brother.
Yeah.
Dynamic.
And it would be, I think it would be interesting to see Brendan Fraser return to that universe now.
Oh yeah, I'm all for it.
I'm all for it. I don't know if he's all for it, but I think it would be interesting to see what was his character's name? Rick. I think it would be interesting to see Rick at this age in his life.
I'd be happy to, do a movie with a different lead and a different story.
Yeah,
have a cameo of Rick in there. Oh yeah,
right.
I'm on board.
Like at the height of the movie where the shit's hit the fan and they're shit out of luck. They knock into that bar where Winston was like regaling tales of the boys and the RAF, and now it's Rick.
Yeah.
In the bar, and and he like pulls his gun roll up from the floor, rolls it out, and they just gear up from him, even if that's the death of the character, whatever. I think that would be fun.
I agree.
Just be fun, and it would just be interesting to see that character at this. What is he doing at this point in his life?
Yeah, I want to know.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So the Renaissance, I'm here for it, man.
The Renaissance. I love that. I hadn't heard that before, and I love it.
I'm glad I could do that for you, Sketch.
I'm a Renaissance man.
Cool. Any takeaways? Any thoughts? Revisiting the Mummy?
No, I mean that's those are my thoughts.
Yeah, cool.
I'm 100% on board for the Renaissance.
Cool.
And they're just feel good. They're such feel good movies.
They really are. Sketch, any other news from the multiverse?
I mean, the last thing I'll bring up is I think it had just kind of come out where at the end of season 2 when we were just doing midstreams that Blizzard is in a little bit of hot water legally.
A lot of hot water.
A lot of hot water.
Does anybody still work for Blizzard?
Yes and no. It seems like anyone who can is distancing themselves, shall we say. But anyway, just an onslaught of legal actions taken against Blizzard for just inappropriate misconduct in the workplace. It just like systemic abuse of employees based on sex and based on race, and just really icky. Like, just like you read it,
disturbing.
Like as someone who I've been playing a Blizzard game for what are we coming on almost half my life, and so like to think of like, oh, those fond memories, like these things were happening in the background, you feel gross. You can't help but just feel a little gross. And so I know WoW subs have definitely take a hit. The company is in a bit of a, I don't want to say a free fall, but they're definitely a all hands on deck. We got to get ahead of this thing. Some of the things that they're doing, they get a lot of blowback on because it feels inauthentic. And then on the flip of that, you hear about like the employees organization on the other side trying to get very reasonable things met from the company, which are like flat out denied or fought.
Right.
And just the tone coming from the company in publicity and stuff like that. The tone of the company adds merit and validity to the charges being brought against it.
Right.
Just the way they're kind of reacting to all this is still problematic. So in Sketch World currently I am still subbed to WoW because I had a 6-month sub before all this happened. I have zero interest to play it at the moment.
Wow.
So I haven't played in well over a month or two. And it's it's a variety of reasons, and I don't think I'm alone in this in saying that like obviously the allegations are really troubling, and they're hard to get past. Even if you're someone who can get past those and still want to play a game, which is your right, the games have changed because there's been a population shift. Development has really just taken a halt.
Right.
As they're working on this, a lot of people are leaving. So even once things are quote unquote back to normal, what's going to be left? I don't know. I'm interested. I follow along with this news because I'm interested to see what plays out. But yeah, I'm not playing WoW right now. I'm not missing it. It's nice. I'm using that time to watch a lot of things that I need to catch up on and play other games that I'm enjoying. And I'm just hoping that some positive changes can come out of this. If we can hope for a silver lining in the situation, it would be
fingers crossed. Sketch.
Yeah, because
fingers crossed.
Regardless, this is going to set a precedent to large gaming companies. If Blizzard can get away with this stuff, countless others will too. And so accountability has to be held, and we'll see how it all plays out. We will hope that the good guy wins here.
So for those of us keeping track at home, keeping score at home, this is the third time you've given up WoW. Do you foresee yourself going back?
I'm not going to say never, because things could definitely, like if I hear that things are going in a good direction and I get, like pumped up again, in the future, I definitely could. I have staying on this trajectory that we're on right now. No.
Right.
And even game wise, I miss the days of being a adventurer. You were just a nobody, and you were going to collect pig ears and Murloc hearts, and that. And now this expansion, which I think does have some cool storytelling elements to it, but this expansion called Shadowlands is, you're saving the afterlife. You're saving the cosmic afterlife. And you are supposedly a key player in it. And you just miss the days of like being a nameless adventurer just trying to get a better piece of gear, or oh, I'm going to get some stew and that's going to hold me for the next 3 levels.
Quote Jean-Luc Picard, does anyone remember the days when we were just explorers?
Yeah. And I miss that, and some of the other games I'm playing are definitely, scratching that itch for me. So it's nice to see these smaller, more independent gaming companies seeing that there's a need for that out there. People do just like that aspect of MMORPGs, and let's focus on that instead. So like it's hard right now because every other time I've stopped playing, it's because I got bored with the game.
Right.
This time
you have like an ethical objection to the game.
Yeah. There's an objection. There is to both the company right now, and also like the story direction that the game's going.
Right.
And then also on top of that, the boredom of the grind. So it's like that. Those are 3 big hills that they'd have to get.
Hey, Sketch. To go back. Now might be a great time to tell you that Fast and Furious has come to Grand Theft Auto.
Has it really?
Well, essentially, it's more like Need for Speed Underground, which is another game I remember.
I love that game. I remember
that's essentially the latest DLC, and it is fucking fantastic. And of course, you can the heist aspect of the game is basically like put your family together and run a run a heist.
It's a family.
It's a family.
I always say. Fast and Furious franchise.
Now might be a great time to hop into the oasis of Grand Theft Auto. I'll help you level up.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right.
That sounds good.
But that's a great segue, Sketch, in the adventuring aspect of WoW that you miss. It was just Star Trek Day, 55th anniversary of Star Trek, and
wow.
I'm a huge Trekkie.
We
more so than I'm really hankering for us to do like TNG/Picard. And that would be a huge episode. We would have to like pick specific things. I have a watch list to get you through all of TNG if you wanted to do it in a timely kind of follow a story all the way through kind of way. That'd be key. Yeah. But the big takeaway from Star Trek Day first is that for the first time since 2006, there will be multiple Star Trek properties on air at the same time.
Wow.
So it's the first time. So we're going to have Discovery, Picard, Strange New Worlds, and Prodigy all running at the same time, which is just freaking huge. And I'm kind of bummed that it's all on Paramount Plus, but such is the nature of media in our landscape today.
So has CBS All Access folded into Paramount Plus?
They're the same company again. So Viacom owned CBS and Paramount. Then it didn't own CBS and Paramount, and that's why there was the reboot movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why they were doing Discovery on television, because they were two separate things. Paramount owned the rights to the movies, and CBS owned the rights to the TV shows, the TV universe. So they are once again under the same roof, and they have folded into one streaming service of Paramount Plus. I guess that means Paramount bought CBS. I don't really know, but they're the same company again.
Okay.
But Strange New Worlds the big announcement was that it's going to be episodic.
Oh.
And Star Trek hasn't been episodic since Voyager. Enterprise was an episodic show, but it got kind of muddied by being starting just before September 11th, and then September 11th happening, and that kind of redefining what the show was about. And life imitating art, imitating life. It became less episodic, and it kind of killed the show prematurely, I feel like. But going back to the episode, think of the original series, TNG, and Voyager. You do have a story over the course of a season, but it's kind of like a monster of the week type thing, and exploration, and That's been missing from Star Trek for over a decade, which is weird to say. So I'm really excited to maybe take the plunge and go in on Strange New Worlds. Discovery, to me, is a great show that doesn't really get to the heart of Star Trek. Star Trek's always been about building a better future and focusing on what unites us as a species, so that, you know, the best of humanity. And that's not to say that there isn't, you know, violence and conflict in that, but it's never what you lead with. And Discovery feels a little reboot movie-esque to me, and a little bit more Star Wars-y.
Yeah, I got the feeling a lot. I only saw the first season, but
yeah, and I didn't really like the first season. And the second season to me was a big improvement, I thought. Season 3 just finished, and season 4 is about to drop, I think in November as well.
Very good.
And no word on that for season 5 yet, but Star Trek Picard is filming season 2 and has been renewed already for a season 3, which is kind of crazy. And then Strange New Worlds will premiere its first season. And Star Trek Prodigy, which is going to be an animated series, takes place way in the future. Kate Mulgrew is going to be reprising Catherine Janeway. So there's a lot to be excited about on the Star Trek front, and I'm here for it. Sketch, and also I should say Lower Decks, the animated series, which I bought the first season on Amazon just to watch it, and it is fucking amazing. If anyone's looking at Lower Decks and saying this isn't Star Trek, you don't get Star Trek. You just don't get it.
It's just great. That simple.
It's hilarious. This is absolutely like what would happen with the B team of the nobodies on the Enterprise that you rarely got to follow, right? So it's a little bit more Orville,
okay,
but in the Star Trek universe and animated, and I think it's hilarious and very smart and turns the Star Trek world on its head while also honoring it.
Perfect.
Yeah, I should also say Orville season 3 is coming in early 2022. We found out on Hulu.
There's plenty of...
That's kind of like Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was watching that at the same time I was watching Discovery, and I was like, oh, Orville feels so much more like Star Trek.
More like Star Trek.
So there you go. If you like Star Trek, it's a good time.
It's a great time to be a Trekkie.
The Renaissance is a great time to
be
also coincides with Trekkies.
Imagine that. Imagine that sketch.
All right. Well, does that take us to next week's episode?
I think it does, Sketch.
So, guys, next week, how to preface this one?
I don't know.
This one was a trip. So, I think this one came from me because Amazon Prime had been pushing me on this movie for a long time. As
had it with myself.
And so we finally sat down and we watched
Guns Akimbo.
The Daniel Radcliffe gritty, this little bit of a dystopian.
You can't say it with a straight face.
No, action-packed.
Daniel Radcliffe with guns bolted to his hands.
Yes,
just sheer insanity.
Listen, you probably haven't seen this movie. Do you have to go watch it? No, to enjoy your episode, I don't think you do, but definitely check out the trailer. Definitely check out the trailer of Guns Akimbo, and if that tickles your fancy, it's worth the hour and a half.
I say watch it.
Daniel Radcliffe going nuts.
Nuts with Radcliffe, guns bolted to his hands.
It's a fun ride, and you better believe we have thoughts. We have lots of thoughts.
Tune in to hear them.
And we get into it, guys. We get into it.
We geek out.
Yeah. So Guns Akimbo, it's on Amazon Prime if you're looking for it.
Yes.
And maybe elsewhere, but I watched it on Amazon Prime. I felt like it had some sort of deal with Amazon Prime.
It is okay. You can watch it on Amazon Prime with a subscription. It is also on Apple TV, YouTube, and Google Play Movies and TV.
So there you go.
As well as Vudu and Amazon Prime Video.
And if you have a Prime subscription, definitely watch it because it's free for you because you pay for a subscription, and it's definitely worth that. So, totally. Guns Akimbo, Daniel Radcliffe, Potter, and we're gonna have a good old time with Guns Akimbo.
Sketch, I think that does it.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks again for coming back for season 3.
And we're so glad to be geeking out with you.
Yeah, it's really nice to be back geeking out again.
It is.
And I'm really excited about some of the stuff we got coming up. Like I almost wanted to talk about it, but we can't because that would spoil things. So we'll have to talk about it off mic. And then we'll talk about it on mic later.
Yeah.
But we got some fun stuff coming up for season 3.
Very exciting.
And very excited. And we'll see you next week for Guns Akimbo.
Bangarang.